Taurus, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for your weekly reading. I've shuffled these cards very well. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So, if you feel compelled, like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's just get started. Let's find out what Taurus needs to know that might be coming up in your lives, and any advice to the situation is always appreciated from the universe. Okay, we've got a lot out here, Taurus. So let's see what we have. So I put the cards down, there you are, as an earth sign, Queen of Pentacles. So I put them down in the same order that they come out of the deck. The overall energy, feeling kind of bound or trapped, but you're not. That's an illusion. It's the feeling, it's not reality. Let's see how many cards we got left for the second part of the reading. One extra and we'll read it. Okay. The overall energy here is the Eight of Swords. Well, this is the energy of having truth and clarity all around you, okay? But feeling bound, feeling trapped, like you can't move, like there's nothing you can do, but there's a lot you can do. Your feet are not bound, your mouth is not bound, you can walk, you can talk. There's a lot of options here in order to find out what all the truth and clarity is, because that can really help you to move out of this situation. Let's find out why this card is surrounding your entire reading. Up in your highest energy, the Queen of Pentacles. This is Earth, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. We know this is Taurus's reading, but one of those signs might be strong in someone else's chart. You may also have Virgo or Capricorn in your chart too. But the energy is what's most important. And the energy of this card is all the kings and queens are very mature-minded. You know, there's some others too. But looking at the pentacle, this is the second largest pentacle in the deck. And see how the queen is holding that pentacle, male or female. All the cards are male or female. Really cherishing it, really trying to look deep into that pentacle, really wanting security, stability, maybe even a commitment. These are the two strongest energies in your entire reading. So somehow you're feeling trapped, like you can't move forward, and it's because I think you're looking for something more solid and certain in your life. Let's keep reading. I have the Justice card next to the Queen of Pentacles and right above the Eight of Swords. So the Justice card is the card for Libra. Libra might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But in your highest energy here, you're going to take charge. You're going to take charge of yourself. Haha, good. You're going to come out of this Eight of Swords energy because you have your sword up. And that sword is for protection. That sword is for truth and clarity. And your scales balanced. So in balancing your scales, you're just kind of getting it together. And you're figuring out what it is that you need to do for you. This is self-justice. So you're not going to stay in that Eight of Swords energy. That's what the universe, that's what the cards want you to know. I have the Queen of Cups next to the Justice card. This is water, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer that might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. The Queen of Cups. This is the only cup in the deck that has a lid on it. And inside that cup, it's full of answers to love questions. There's little windows. I'm going to hold that close. Little windows all around that cup. And she's trying to peer into those windows for answers to questions. So this is what's on your mind. Trying to get some answers about love. Like, you know, where's a loving relationship? Or why don't they love me like I love them? Or do I love them? I mean, it could be any millions of questions that's on your mind, but that has to do with love. The waters, they're emotional, and so being next to the Justice card, you are figuring things out, you're putting things together in your mind, in order to take control over your life, because you feel like you've been stuck in one place for a long time, maybe just waiting for things to work themselves out when you actually need to take some type of action. I have the Tower right below the Queen of Pentacles and next to the Eight of Swords. So that with the Tower, this is like the destruction of, you're blowing up this Eight of Swords energy, definitely. You're coming out of it. It might be through, because this is the Tower card, it might be through an argument, or it just might be through a realization that kind of, slaps you on the side of the head and you go, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? Or, oh my gosh, I now see what's going on. Or, so the Tower moment, it's a big moment when you decide to come out of this Eight of Swords. I have the World card next to the Eight of Swords and under the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, you're wondering where your love is. You're wondering what it's going to look like and whatever other questions you might have about love. But it's also next to the Eight of Swords, the overall energy of feeling trapped. No longer trapped. Like I said, you're blowing that whole energy up. So you're moving into a new life cycle. And look how, fun and gay that looks. You could have travel. Travel could be coming up, and maybe you'll take a vacation and then think about things. But you are moving into a new life cycle. Under the Tower card is the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, you're focused on the Pentacles. We already know that. That's your highest energy card. You've decided you can build your own Pentacles. You don't really need someone else to build Pentacles. You're perfectly capable of, working on your own future. Okay, you're figuring out a way. You're getting balanced. And so your focus is going to turn to working on yourself and your future. And here we have the Two of Wands right next to the Eight of Pentacles and under this Eight of Swords. The Two of Wands, this is you. And you're standing there with that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings. And you're holding the world with your other hand. And here's the world right here. You're going to be moving forward, definitely, to a fresh start, new beginning for you. And you're just contemplating in this card on how you're going to go about it. But you're figuring it out. You know that you have the power to make the decisions that are going to work for you. You're going to take action, definitely have the Knight of Swords right next to the Two of Wands and under the World card. So you're definitely going to take action. You're going to move forward. You're going to have your sword up in the air like you do with the Justice card, except this card, there's so much movement. So you're going to figure it out. You're going to seek truth. You're going to seek clarity in finding your way forward towards your future, towards the future that you want. Let's see what other cards came out here for the second part of your reading. Could be some advice. I can already see that things are going to work out, but there might be something helpful for you. Make that decision. Sometimes it's just helpful knowing that you've been stuck, and there has been, truth and clarity has been around you. And there's the 10th card that I'm going to go ahead and read here. So I have the Two of Pentacles next to the Queen of Cups. Confusion. You're up and down and all around. It's like a roller coaster ride. I think that's how your relationships might have been going, how your life might have been going. Just a roller coaster ride. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Rocky water, ships bouncing around out there. See that? So it's sort of like, when is this going to stop? You want to get balanced. You have the Justice card there, and you will get balanced. I have the King of Wands right next to the Two of Pentacles. This is fire, so that'd be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. That might be strong in your chart or someone else's around the reading. The King of Wands is holding, this is your energy, that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings with one hand, and your hand's on your hip with your other hand, and you are definitely getting ready to move forward to this fresh start and this new beginning. So this is what you're working on in your mind on coming out of that Eight of Swords energy. Very mature thinking. I have the Seven of Swords right next to the King of Wands, and you're not even looking at this card. You are like, you're putting this behind you. This is deceitful, or dishonest, sneaky type behavior. Okay, or somebody might just be taking and not giving back, which can hold you back. So, this is unwanted energy in your life, and you're not even looking at it anymore. I think this has been in your life, and I think this is part of the truth and the clarity that you're going to be seeing, and you're going to figure out that, wait a minute, they're holding you back. They're holding you back from having the life that you want to have. I have the 10 of Swords right below the Two of Pentacles and next to the World. This is the card of the end of the pain, the end of the suffering. Everything comes anew. Everything gets refreshed when the end comes up. Those are swords of truth and clarity. Remember the Eight of Swords? I'm not seeing them. You're going to see them. And you're going to take action. We know that. To help yourself to move forward to where you want to be. So this is under all this confusion, these rocky roads, these ups and downs through life, through relationships, and it's going to come to an end. It's like you're reaching a point in your life where where you know how it is that you want to move forward and where you want to go, and what that's going to look like. And you're taking action in order to do it. I have the Ace of Cups next to the Ten of Swords and under the King of Wands. Love, 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 love. This is the most beautiful cup of love. Look, the water, see the water running out of this cup? That's emotions. This is very emotional love. You have it to offer to someone, okay? And you are looking for someone that you can share this cup of love with. And let me tell you here. I have the Lovers right next to the Ace of Cups. I think there's someone coming in. There's a soulmate, very, very strong soulmate. You letting this deceitful energy go. You've had it around you, just hoping that it works out. This is allowing this other energy to come in. So your guardian angels and spirit guides are there, and they're trying to pull you together with someone. So you may have known them in another lifetime as a lover. You've definitely known them in another lifetime because they're a soulmate. But this is a very, very strong connection that's coming in. And look, it's right next to the Ace of Cups. They have a huge cup of love too. This is also the card, I must say, for Gemini. So Gemini could be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. So someone's coming in. You're making changes to your life. You're just kind of going to be moving on. You're going to put your nose to the grindstone. You're just going to work on yourself and start thinking about, you and what you're going to do for yourself. When then along comes this very strong soulmate. I have the Three of Wands under the Ten of Swords and right next to the Knight of Swords. Remember the Two of Wands over here? Where you are holding onto that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings and holding the world in the other hand. Like, what is your life cycle going to look like? How are you going to get there? You know you're going out that way, and you know you're doing it. Well, your ship's out there. Look, there's 3 ships out there. Let me show you. And you're holding that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings, and your ship is out there. So you're waiting for your ship to come in. And your ship, it looks like, is coming in here. There is a very strong connection coming in. A very strong soulmate coming in. And it is with the help of your guardian angels and your spirit guides. I have the Five of Wands under the Ace of Cups and right next to the Three of Wands. I don't think you really truly believe, as I'm reading this reading, that this is going to happen. I think that you know that you can work on yourself and you can build your own pentacles and you can move forward on your own. I think you know that. But as far as love goes, you've got so many questions and you've been jerked around. It's like you've had so many highs, so many lows, and you're a little confused about it. And this card is about confusion, anxiety, and stress. And I just think that you're kind of putting the thought of a true soulmate coming in on the back burner. And because you're too, like, your balloon's been burst over this whole situation, and I feel like you've just got too much to struggle with in your mind to really believe that this can happen. Now, if this is a general reading. Let me point this out. It will not resonate with everyone. If it doesn't, I would check your moon sign, which is your private and emotional self. You can find that information online, your other signs. And also, you can get a private reading from somebody that you trust. But this is general, and you can take from it what you will, or it just resonate to the T. And I get, a lot of feedback that a lot of times it does, just right to the T. I have the Page of Pentacles here, Taurus. This is a new love coming in with this page. This is a young energy. They do have a pentacle to offer. Now, remember the reading started with the Queen of Pentacles? It's ending with the Page of Pentacles down here, right under the Lover's card. You not believing this is ever going to come in. And you've given it a lot of thought. But when they come in, you're going to start thinking about that pentacle again. And starting to think about, wow, maybe I'm not the only one that has to build pentacles. Maybe we can build pentacles together. I have the Six of Wands is the extra card that came out, and is right between the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. This is the card for success and love. What better card to come out next to the Lovers here? All these wands coming up in the background are people celebrating your love. So, the wreath can be engagement. This is a very strong soulmate. And you're going to be moving forward with them. Let's take out an angel card. Let's see what else there is for you. Might be helpful in moving forward. For Taurus, please. Let's see what they have to say. Guardian angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. What do you have to say? What do we need to know? One more shuffle. More shuffle. Taurus. Alright. Let's get glasses on. Taurus. And that card is right there. It's the Two of Abundance. I'm going to read it to you. Life be feeling a little out of balance right now. And here you are getting rebalanced. You could be working multiple jobs, is the working thing, or trying to make a change to your dream career. It's important to keep things light and stay in touch with your inner child. Make your work as playful as possible. Multitasking with a positive attitude brings success. You might even meet this person through your work. But, be happy while you're doing your work. Be happy while you're building your own pentacles. And I think that's what's going to help attract the soulmate into your life somehow. So Taurus, this is your reading. Thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.